I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Good evening. This is the meeting of November 16th, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the applicable portions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been given. This meeting is posted on the bulletin board located in the corridor of this building and published in the newspaper on January 10th, 2020. Councilman Burns will lead in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a moment of silence for the service members who just died this week and any others? Thank you.
Roll call. Councilman Bacchione?
Here.
Councilwoman Gingrich?
She was actually just calling me out.
I think she's on the phone, isn't she?
Is she on the phone there?
Sophia?
I think she might be trying to call in.
It's on.
Is anybody on the line? Sounds like it's sort of.
Yes.
Are you going to call her and put her on
Yeah.
speaker?
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on and go back. Councilman Burns?
Here.
Councilman Signorelli?
Here.
Councilman Godano?
Here.
Councilman Gross? Council President Buccio?
Here.
Yeah, okay. Item 3A, administer the oath of office. As you know, Councilman Mike Signorelli was elected to the Ward 3 seat. And tonight we have with us Freeholder Jack Kelly to swear Mike in. Freeholder Kelly. And Mike, would you guys go to the podium?
Freeholder Kelly was just about to swear in, Mike, but I'll just flip you to speaker on my phone so Beverly can get your attendance and I'll leave it on my phone.
Let me get him off. Okay.
All right.
So,
Okay,
I'll stay on. I'll come right back.
Sophia, you're present? She's gonna come right back. She's gonna come right back. She's trying to call in. That's what it is. She's trying to call in and,
I thought I was clear in saying
No.
that I'd leave it on my phone.
I think the sauce was burning.
All right, now she's calling me. That's right.
oh,
Councilwoman Gingrich?
Yes. Hi.
here?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Now the party begins.
You got it.
Hello, Sophia.
That was Freeholder Kelly, if you couldn't hear.
Okay.
Okay. Now, it's my pleasure to swear in Councilman-elect, now Councilman, Mike Signorelli. Thank you. I will tell you something, Mike. You just got the largest percent vote that you're ever going to get in your career. 99.34%. Now, before I swear you in, I have homework for you. I want you to work on getting that other 2/3 of 1%.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to just bring this down for a minute while I swear the oath with you. If you'll put your hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Mike Signorelli,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of Ward 3 Council
of the office of Ward 3 Council
to fill the unexpired term.
to fill the unexpired term
I'm just reading what it says.
Okay.
Expired December 31st, 2021,
expiring December 31st, 2021,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mike.
One for you and one for...
One for me.
See how well behaved I am?
Thank you very much.
That's yours?
No,
That's mine. That's yours, okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Freeholder, thank you very much for coming and appreciate it. Did you want to stay for our whole meeting or?
What I'd like to do is go home and take my wife out to dinner.
Okay.
Mission granted.
Congratulations to all of you.
Enjoy dinner.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me here.
Good night.
Thank you, Sophia.
Okay, item 3B, we have recognition, we have certificates, so I'm going to go down to the podium to present this. I'm pinch hitting for the mayor tonight. Okay, is this on? Is this thing on?
No.
Thought I turned it on.
No, it's blue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's blue now, okay. All right. This evening, we're going to present a certificate to Emily Strick for the Patriots pen competition that was held. So who's here tonight along with Emily? If we can have them come up to the podium. And we'd also like to have, I understand the essay is not that long, and we can have Emily read it. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Commander Bill Dondero. I'm the commander of the VFW Post 9503 here in Bayville. In September, we normally reach out to the children of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade about our Patriots pens. It's a composition written every year on different topics. High school is our voice of democracy. This year, thanks to the principal and vice principal of the Berkeley Middle School, we had 66 entries for our Patriots pen. Last year, we had none. This is very important to us, and our post, once it goes and past our post, the selection, it goes up to our district. They win $1,000 for that. It goes to state, they win $5,000. If it goes to national, it's anywhere up to $50,000. Our post also gives a winner, Emily, I'm proud to give you a check for $300 for winning.
Hey, why don't you come around here to the mic? You touch the wire there. Why don't you read that?
So those are just title and then.
Yeah, you can.
What is patriotism to me? Patriotism is an unwavering love for one's country. It is like a resolution that every man carries. It spreads from one soul to the next like an unstoppable wildfire, a wildfire of pure determination and pride. The definition of patriotism cannot be defined in a dictionary, but by the actions of people. From America's founding fathers to today's courageous men and women of our military serving in war-torn countries, patriotism fills our hearts with will to protect freedom. Patriotism is what gave George Washington the courage to fight the superpower of the world and take charge of an unstable colony. Patriotism gave him courage. Patriotism is why America leads the world. Men and women have a deep will to work and succeed. Neil Armstrong stepped onto the uncertain ground. He wanted to show the world that his nation has accomplished something no other had. He took the leap onto the moon to prove his patriotism. In the Second World War, there was a shortage of workers needed to fulfill the cry for war supplies. Millions of women stepped up to show their love and determination for their country. They worked to fulfill a call that men could not do to war. Patriotism filled their hearts and gave them the bravery to do what was then known as man's work. Patriotism is in all of our hearts. We may not always know it until the call comes upon us. Patriotism is upon us to be kind to our fellow man and women. It brings out compassion, courage, work ethics, and bravery in all of us. That being said, we find ourselves currently in a situation where a new disease threatens to test everyone's patriotism. Our love of country is being measured against our love for our fellow Americans, not only by our actions, but also by who we gave our vote to. We find ourselves in a divided nation, and never before have we needed patriotism as much as we do now. It is a crucial moment in American history. Our patriotism is being tested. May God bless the United States of America.
Should I get the principal and vice
Sure,
president
come
to
on
her
up.
family?
Guys, come down.
Emily did.
And Emily, it's not hard enough, number one, thank you, number two, we're getting the whole governing body down here for a picture now, too, so.
Good deal.
Joe, you get any pictures?
All right, guys. A little lopsided, you mind coming, at least one or two over on this side, perfect. And Mike and Angelo, and you can get, yep, then we can see. You guys know the rule, right? You have to be able to see me for me to see your. So, Sophia, you want me to put the camera in the picture or something? Okay, let me get a line, please. Good for me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. So we're zooming in.
Yes, Christopher Fred will let you. Thank you, Council President. John, thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, my pleasure, thank you. Thank you, Council President.
I want to thank the council president and the whole council and the mayor. Most importantly, I want to thank the commander and the Bayville VFW posts for actually allowing us to participate in this contest. Every year at the board meeting, we always try to recognize different students, but we came to surprise this year, last week, when the commander invited us to attend the council meeting tonight. So I want to thank you. Most importantly, I want to thank you for your service to our country, and we look forward to working with you again next year. Thanks again.
Thank you, Principal Ferretta. Show on the road.
Like the freeholder, if you guys don't want to stay for the whole meeting, we certainly understand. So.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, item 4, discussion by administration.
Thank you, Council President. I'll start in with item A, which are recreation refunds. One is just amending a refund resolution that was done for Erica Mercer. That's on the official agenda as item 12.1. And the other is a picnic and lighting refund that never needed to be paid, and that's on the official agenda as item 12.2. Both of these, as I said, the things were not needed, and they were just offering, giving the refund. Item B is a construction refund. It was a flood review fee, and the property was not in a flood area, did not have to pay that fee, so that's being refunded. for the property located at 2102 Southeast Central Avenue, South Seaside Park, and that's on the official agenda as item number 12.3. Item C is authorizing the appointment of two volunteer firefighters, both to the Bayville Fire Department. The first one is Aubrey V. Borden, and that's on the official agenda as item number 12.4. And the other candidate is Jason Smoro, and that's on the official agenda as item number 12.5.
Item 4D is cancellation of taxes, and there are two resolutions here. One was due to an error in an added assessment. It was increased instead of decreased, so the net is a $12,583 value of the property for, like I said, it was a clerical error in the tax assessor's office, so it's being reduced to the taxes now being owed of only $3,317.32. And that is on the official agenda number 12.7. And item 4D is, and that was, I'm sorry, that was also block 794 lot 1. The second one is for block 794 lot 9. This was a consolidated lot, however, also an error in the assessor's office. It was a clerical error that this added assessment should not have been sent. So this is removing that additional added assessment, and that is on the official agenda number 12.8. Item 4E is authorizing to advertise and to extend the request for proposals for professional services until Tuesday, December 8th at this year until 10 o'clock a.m. And that is on the official agenda number 12.9. 12F is a request from the Department of Police to increase their change fund from $25 to $100, as the Record Bureau is getting a lot more requirements for various different documents, and people are coming in with large bills that they can't change with just a $25 draw. It's not a tax impact, it's just increasing the change fund. And that is on the official agenda number 12.10.
Thanks, Fred. Item G is offering for sale township property to the adjacent property owner. It's block 1674, lot 25 on Trinidad Ave. That's still a resolution offering.
Yes.
Thank you. And that's on the official agenda as item 12.11. Item H is a resolution supporting high-speed internet being available to everyone rather than just select areas. That resolution in support is on the official agenda as item number 12.12. Item I, and actually J and K, Councilman Gross had brought to the attention of everyone, including administration, and thought you might want to speak to those.
Sure, real quick, because we did go over this before. The first one is opposing the Attorney General's proposed directive on a 20-year look back on law enforcement, which we thought was a little egregious, and publicizing our addresses and our private information on minor infractions. We didn't feel was appropriate, so we are opposing his directive on 20-year look back on law enforcement officials. J is...
And I'm sorry, just to add, that's on the official agenda as item number 12.13.
Thank you, sir. Yep.
Yep.
Let's see, J is proof of identification when you go to vote. I know certain people or political parties aren't in favor of that, but I certainly feel, and as everyone else approved up here, that you have to show ID everywhere else you go. You go to a club in Belmar in the middle of summer, you show ID, but when you go vote, you don't have to. So let's try to keep things as legitimate and honest and appropriate as possible. So that is on the official 12.14. And K, I had noticed, I don't know if it was a glitch in the system or whatnot, but Vietnam veterans were not allowed to go to conferences and get paid while they're working. I know they're getting older, but they still count, they still matter, they're still very important to us, and we wanted to add them to the list of war veterans who get compensated when they go to essentially work conferences. To sum it up, that's pretty much it, and that is on the official 12.15, and that's all I have on that.
Thank you, Councilman. Item L is actually authorizing now the sale of properties that were offered to adjacent property owners. The first one is the introduction of an ordinance for Block 1358, lots 26 and 28, and that's on the official agenda as item number 8. And the second one is for Block 1358, lots 37 and 39, and that's on the official agenda as item number 9. Letter M is requesting Ocean County Natural Lands Trust to preserve land. It's on the official agenda as item number 12.16. We do this periodically. I don't know if the councilman or a planner want to speak to it in any more detail, or just simply know that Berkeley Township has asked it before and is continuing to ask for the Natural Lands Trust to hopefully preserve any land they can to try to help slow down any sprawl and overbuilding in certain areas.
I have to just note that on the item, the official item, it's item 12.20,
Oh, thank you.
and the next one is 12.16,
So
the budgetary.
Natural Lands Trust is 12.20, and for Fred, speaking to the transfers, will be 12.16.
Yes.
Thank you.
And speaking to the budget transfers, item 4N is authorizing certain budgetary transfers. As we do this annually, the amount to be transferred is $268,550, and that is on the official agenda number 12.16.
Item 5, comments from the mayor and council. Mayor Amato is not here. I just wanted to check with the administrator.
No, the mayor, and I apologize, I should have said right at the beginning, the mayor's brother had to have unexpected surgery today, so the mayor needed to be with him, supportive. The good news is he's out of surgery and everything seems to have went very well, but the mayor could not attend and was not even sure that he'd be able to call in. So if we haven't heard from him as of now for this, we could certainly move right on to the council
All right.
if that's good.
All right, Councilman Bacchione.
Thank you, Council President. Just to springboard off of Fred Ebenew's comments about the budget transfer in the amount of $268,550. In this year of this pandemic, where many businesses are struggling to have we have a transfer of expenses of a mere $268,550 is really a testament. It's good news. Even though we are transferring money, it's still good news. We don't need to create an emergency appropriation. Working closely with Mr. Ebenew, the Finance Committee is pleased with the outcome and the results of this year's budget, despite all of the COVID-19 shutdown challenges. And just want to, on another note, just wish everyone a healthy and enjoyable Thanksgiving. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Bacchione. We'll move over. Oh, she's on the phone. Councilwoman Gingrich, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Hi, everyone. I just have two short messages, basically all involving the food. This Friday, November 20th, the regular food bank will be held at 631 Jamaica Boulevard, 9:30 in the morning to 11. The following week is Thanksgiving, and normally the day before Thanksgiving, we hand out turkey dinners at the Manitou Fire Department on Fort de France. To my knowledge, that is still happening. I was hoping the mayor would be there to confirm it, but that's the normal procedure. So if anything else changes, we'll have to make some kind of a notice to the public. Other than that, thank you, everyone, and I want to thank everyone for all the wonderful calls I got and good wishes. And I also want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving and a safe Thanksgiving. Thank you all. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman Gingrich. Councilman Burns.
The other day, they, at Vets Park, the Lieutenant Governor, Kim Cadano, and Congressman-elect, or Congressman Kim, gave out the foods. And actually, I did ask Lieutenant Governor that she is now the Executive Director of Fulfill, and they're going to be having the meals that for Thanksgiving, as usual, so far. I'd like to get a motion or a resolution for a municipal subdivision. The property across from the 5-6 school, from the rec center down to the old post office. If we could get a subdivision there, and that would give 50 feet on Emory to the schools, that, you know, of course, we'd have to work this out through the attorneys and the engineers, but that would give them probably an additional 20 to 30 parking spots. And then the contractors along Route 9, they wouldn't have to enter on and off of Route 9 there. They could have a driveway through, and we would have them purchase the additional 50 feet. Right now, it's 100 feet deep. So Ted's Well, Bars, I think there's 2 others in there. They would purchase that, and then, you know, I've talked to Jack Saragnik and Dr. Roselli and Alan and Jim, and they said that we would need a motion to get this ball rolling.
I'll make that motion to subdivide the municipal properties as Councilman Burns described.
I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Roll call, Councilman Bacchione.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gingrich.
Yes.
Councilman Burns.
Yes.
Councilman Signorelli.
Yes.
Councilman Guadagno.
Yes.
Councilman Gross. Council President Bushio.
Yes.
Talking about Emory there, the underwater divers, rescue divers, their yard is turned into a real junkyard. And, you know, we try to be favorable toward volunteers, but they just keep getting more and more government surplus there. And that property with the kids across the street, and it's just a real mess. There's old jet skis, Jeeps. It looks like a junkyard. Maybe there's a way that when they do get some of this surplus equipment, they could park it at Public Works or something. But I know Kenny Anderson doesn't like to go over there because it's a volunteer organization, but I think it's gotten out of hand. And we've usually sent like a 20-yard dumpster over there, but we need to clean that up. And on tonight, there's a adjacent property land sale. And I think that the adjacent properties are, I don't want to say overassessed, but if there's a way that we could bring the assessment down, that it's not a developable lot, you know, it's just a vacant lot. If there's a way we could bring that price down a little bit, but I know we'd have to get an assessor in there to assess the properties. But I don't know how the council feels about it, but, you know, I don't think we should have any adjacent properties. We should get them on the tax rolls. But, you know, $16,000 price is hard to argue with on that one, but.
So for the one we're, if I can, through the chair, just to make sure I'm clear, the one we're offering tonight on Trinidad, is a concern with what the price?
There's no concern with that.
Oh, okay.
No, this is, I've been talking about this for a while.
For
since,
going forward, if there's a way to, and then, so then just real quick, we could look into it, but I believe the process is if when we offer contiguous, non-conforming pieces to contiguous owners, it's offered at the assessed value. If only one wants it, well, let me do it the other way. If 2 contiguous owners want it, then they actually bid on it, and the price finds itself by what people want to pay for it. If only one wants it, I thought they can offer less.
No.
They can't even offer, I mean,
we've been round and round with
It's
this.
just, it's just easier if I just explain it. Under the statute, the municipality cannot accept or cannot sell property for less than the fair market value. If somebody can prove that the fair market value is less than the assessed value, because that's what we've been going with, then we can accept that. However, we could not just negotiate with them to a lower number without having some sort of backup.
okay. So we could.
So maybe in the future,
It's
they
always
could
within
get
somebody's
an
right to
assessor.
do that.
Or they could provide the backup.
Correct.
Right. But if there's a lot like in the backwoods of Pinewall there, you know, it's really worthless. But I know a few years ago with the other administration, they did a big land sale and they made $1 million, but it probably cost us $20 million educating the schools and, you know, variances to build these houses on other size lots. I mentioned the food. The governor came out November 30th, any tents at restaurants would have to have building permits. There's a list of every tent that's up in every restaurant, and some of them have heat, but according to the building code, any tent that's up from November to April would need a permit. But I don't know if there's a way we could waive, I know we don't like to waive permit fees, but some of these restaurants have really been getting their butts kicked. And I think there may only be one or two that are going to remain, you know, the tents up. But, you know, maybe we can consider that in the next meeting to, you know, ease off on their tax. I know we've mentioned and we've done some resolutions to sell or lease the governor's mansion out in Island Beach State Park. You know, it's a small state. I don't think we should be providing the governor with a beach house. And I know it's a year till the election, so they do have time to do something. But that property could be leased, you know, for events or whatever, or bought. So maybe we could take a look at that in the future. All right? Thank you. That's all I have. Have a good holiday.
Thank you, Councilman Burns. Let's move down to Councilman Gross.
I have nothing yet.
Okay. Councilman Guadagno.
I have nothing at this time, Council President.
Councilman Signorelli.
I have nothing at this time, Council President.
Okay, then I think we're.
Like this side.
Yeah, that's.
Had to make me look bad. Come on. Be a weather report.
I did want to make a comment, though, with everything going on in the news with COVID and the governor coming out on a regular basis with, you know, different restrictions. As a council here, we're going to, with the advice of our attorney, we'll take a look at that statute that he puts out regarding the restrictions, and we'll make a decision whether or not next month will be, you know, remote by phone, or we'll have people in person, but we'll make sure we notify everyone in time. But we'll take that all into consideration when we make our decision. And of course, our first and foremost concern is the health and safety of our residents, our elected officials, and our employees. So, thank you. So we're up to discussion by Township Engineer.
Thank you, Council President. Item 6A is a contract change order. It's increase of $1,500 on the 2020 roadway resurfacing project, Beaumont Court and Shannon Court. This project was performed by one of the consultants in your engineering pool, O'Donnell and Stanton Associates, and they recommended approval of this change order. It's on the official item 12.17. Item 6B is the contract change order. This is a decrease of $34,841.60. Van Buren Avenue Improvements was the project. Again, this project was performed by one of the engineers in your consulting pool, Pannoni Associates, and they recommended this change order approval. It's on the official item 12.18. Item 6C is the performance bond release for the Van Buren Avenue improvements projects. Again, that was recommended by Pannoni Associates, the engineer on the project. It's on the official item 12.19. And item 6D is the stormwater management plan and pollution prevention plan. When the township had their audit with NJDEP in 2018, they requested several updates to those two plans, which requires ordinance changes, and those ordinances are scheduled for public hearing on the agenda, officials items 10, 11, and 11A. And that's all I have, unless there's any questions on those items. Thank you.
Through the chair, for the engineer, I know we've had problems with the contractor there on North Bay and Longview doing his repairs. The repairs to be done are minimal.
Yes.
And I notice he hasn't put in for his bond release.
Or final payment.
Can he give him a final payment either?
No.
Is there a way we can give him like a 7-day notice to get out there? Because some of those puddles, it's gonna
We
start
can.
freezing.
I'll take care of that.
Yeah, it's
We'll put 'em
been
on.
months. I don't know. Guy must have a lot of money.
He does.
All right, thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
The meeting is now open for public comment. Anyone in the audience tonight would like to come up and make a comment or statement? Please give us your name and address, please, for the record.
Rick Callahan, 117 Anchor Drive, South Seaside Park. I was wondering, being that Governor Pothead and his Asbury Park friends have gotten the recreational cannabis approved, I hope town is not going to change and allow recreational cannabis sales.
I can-
In Berkeley Township, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, within the township. I can't speak for everybody, but I know that if the.
Look at me.
I look down. That if the law is similar to what was proposed before, that would give the municipality the right to prohibit those sales within the town. And at that point in time, the legislative committee will sit and discuss what they want to do moving forward. There's always the chance that they won't have that option. We have to see what the law says before they can say yes or no to anything. But I don't see anybody changing it. It would be void at this point. You have to wait to know exactly what you're looking at.
The same as the kratom.
What do you mean?
We outlawed the kratom sales.
You did,
Berkeley.
you did, but there's the potential for this law to not allow you to outlaw the sale. I don't see it happening that way. The last few rounds of legislation did give the towns the right to prohibit it, but not knowing what the final product is, I just don't know at this point.
Thank you.
And if I could add through the chair, the council's on record as much as they could be, because they've already passed a resolution when it was proposed before, and that, they're not rescinding that.
So I'm aware of that. That's why I
Yep.
just want to make sure that they didn't modify
Yep.
it or anything there in deference to Pothead.
You got it.
Anyone else in the audience? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
I make a motion, we close the public portion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 8, resolution number 20-441R regarding closed session. Whereas we are about to discuss matters which deal with one or more of the statutory exceptions under the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act, which allows the exclusion of the public during said discussions. And whereas the matters to be discussed relate to personnel, contractual, and pending litigation. Whereas this may be disclosed to the public at a time when the necessity for confidentiality no longer exists or within 6 months or less from the date hereof. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Berkeley, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey as follows. 1, that the Township Council shall retire into executive session where the public shall be excluded and where said matter shall be discussed and formal action may be taken with regard thereto. 2, that the minutes of the executive session shall be closed from public inspection and shall so remain until the reason for confidentiality ceases to exist or upon formal action by the Township Council on an official meeting within 6 months or less. 3, that the termination of said executive session, the meeting would be adjourned. Motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Roll call. Councilman Bacchione.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gingrich.
Yes.
Councilman Burns.
Yes.
Councilman Signorelli.
Yes.
Councilman Godano.
Yes.
Councilman Gross.
Yes.
Council President Buccio.
Yes.
And we'll go into executive session.
John?
Yes,
He's carrying you with him.
I'm gonna bring you in.